Hi everyone, thanks for coming out for day 4 of Yoga for Stress Relief. Today we're going to be focusing mostly on the lower body, working on opening up our hamstrings and our IT band. If you have any props at home that you would like to use, like your blocks or your strap, you can go ahead and grab those now. And if you don't have either of those, you can just use any other household items like a book or like a chair to raise your level up, or if you have a little box to replace your blocks. And then you can use a necktie or a towel to imitate a strap. So we're going to go ahead and get started standing up today. And just come into your space, making sure you have enough space to move your arms and legs in all directions. Doesn't matter where you're standing on your mat right now. We're going to start off our practice today with just a couple minutes of embodied movement. And embodied movement is just really dropping out of your head and out of any worries or thoughts that you have about the day ahead of you, and just dropping into your bodily sensations, noticing your breath, noticing everything that's happening in your body right now. So begin to close your eyes. Just start connecting with your breath, maybe placing one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. And you can stay still, or you can begin to bring some movement into your body, whatever feels good for you right now. Just feel your lungs filling up with each inhale and falling with each exhale. And just feel the rhythm of your own breath. When we get into our movement portion here for our first part, I don't want you to have any expectations or ideas of what you're supposed to look like. If you've never done embodied movement before, here at home alone is a perfect time to try it, because you don't have to worry about looking silly or worrying about what anybody else is going to think of you. So as you connect with your breaths, slowly release your arms down to either side of your body. Now start to bring some movement through your hips. Maybe moving side to side or front to back. And remembering that all of these cues that I'm giving you are just ideas. If you want to move your body in a different way, if it's asking for something else right now, just listen to it. Again, you don't have to worry about matching me perfectly. And start to bring up more movement through your legs. Maybe swinging one leg back and forth, or side to side. And then maybe switching legs. Just get a little creative here. Maybe move side to side on your mat. You can do some over the gate hip openers. Maybe lift your knee high and do a big circle with it. The idea here is to try and get some vigorous movement in your body. So you can bring your knees high, like you're marching. Just keep moving here. If you want to bring your upper body into it, you can too. Maybe lifting your knees and twisting your chest. Just start feeling your movement through your body, noticing if there's anywhere that's calling out to you that wants to move more or be still. Maybe you want to run in place in your mat a little bit. Really just focusing on opening up and bringing some energy to that lower part of your body. Again, not worrying about if you're looking silly or not. Doesn't matter. We're at home alone in our living room. You can get as weird as you want. You can make it your own little dance party. Embodied movement is really just about tuning in with what your body is asking for right now. After a few more breaths of that, really listening to what your body's asking for, slowly begin to come to stillness Bringing your hands back onto your chest. Noticing your heartbeat, if it has sped up at all. And just continue to take long, deep, even breaths here. And as always, you can take this opportunity here to set your intention for your practice today. What brought you out to your mat this morning? Maybe there's something you want to receive from this practice or something you want to let go. Just focus on that here. And we'll take one cleansing breath. Inhaling through our nose. Big open mouth exhale. Then we'll find our way to the front of our mat. Bringing our hands together at the center of our chest, standing tall. Exhale, letting all of your air fall out. On your next inhale, begin to sweep your arms up to the ceiling. And on our exhale, we'll fold forward, hinging at the waist. And you can bring a deep bend into your knees to start here. Just coming into a forward fold, letting your whole upper body melt over your thighs. And you can bring your hand to grab your opposite elbow. And you can sway side to side, just let your entire upper body be in traction here. And if you have a block, you can grab one here. And we're going to go ahead and place our block in front of our right foot. So what you're going to do is bend your right knee as deeply as you can, keeping your left leg straight. And then from here, you're going to plant your right hand onto the block. And you can raise the block up to whatever height you need to for this to be accessible for you. And if you can bring your hands to touch the mat, you can do that as well. So pressing your hand onto the block or the mat, we'll inhale, extend our left arm up to the ceiling for a revolved forward fold. You should feel a deep stretch through your left IT band here, maybe into your hip flexor and your hamstring a little bit, depending on where you're tight. Just keep twisting those shoulders to stack on top of each other. Left fingertips reaching up to the ceiling, extending higher on your inhale. Feeling space in your lungs still. We don't want to be collapsed through our rib cage. Try to keep everything long through your spine. And take one more breath here. Inhale, extend a little bit higher. And the exhale, begin to plant your left hand down to the ground. And we'll switch our legs out here. So you'll move the block over if you're using that. Begin to straighten your right leg as much as possible and bend your left knee as deeply as you can. So again, find whichever height works for you with the block or the mat. We'll plant that left hand down. On your next inhale, begin to reach your right arm up to the ceiling, twisting those shoulders to stack on top of each other. And check in with your hips too. Try to square both of your hips towards the front of your mat. We don't want to throw our hip back. Keep everything squared towards the front, shoulders stacking on top of each other. Good. Reaching those fingertips high with each inhale. Releasing any tension you feel with each exhale. Maybe bending deeper through your knee. And take one more deep breath here. Inhale, extend those fingers taller. And exhale, begin to plant your hands. And so from here, we'll keep our hands. You can bring your block in front of you and bring both hands onto it or hands on the mat. We're just going to cycle our knees out here for a couple of breaths, bending one leg and keeping the other one straight. So you can take your own pace with your own breath, just alternating that deep bend through your knees, feeling some space coming into your hamstrings. Then take one more breath here. Exhale, beginning to bend both knees, letting your chest fall over your thighs. Inhale, we'll bring our hands to our shins, halfway lift. Crown of your head reaches in front of you, spine stays straight. And then exhale, round. Inhale, begin to reverse swan dive. You can bend your knees deeply, sweep your arms out to the side, and come to stand. Exhale, hands come to center. For our next pose, we're going to head into pyramid. This is a great one to get into our IT band as well. So to begin, we're going to take our right foot and step it back behind us. And for this pose, we want both toes to be facing towards the front of our mat. Back toes can turn out slightly. And you want to imagine, and you don't want your stance to be super, super wide here. It should be a little bit closer than what you usually do for your warrior series, if you know where that is. So you want to take your left foot and press it forward into the mat. Right heel presses back behind you, almost as if you're going to rip your mat in half. And for this first part, we're going to grab our opposite elbow behind our back. If you can come into Anjali Mudra with your hands touching in prayer position, you can do that as well. But that's not accessible for me, so I'm just going to grab my opposite elbow. Hips have to stay square here. Right hip pulling forward towards the front of the mat. Left hip presses back. And this is what's really going to make the big difference in feeling the stretch through your side body. This is called intense side stretch, so you should feel it through the side of your leg more so than your hamstring. So with your hands behind your back, we'll inhale, extend tall through our spine, and exhale, hinge forward at the waist. Our hands back here are just helping us maintain a straight spine to begin. And so just bend as deeply as you can. Once you feel like your body is kind of tensing up, that's its way of telling you that you have gone far enough. So try not to push it too far, too fast. Just listen to your body here. Maybe deepening a little bit with each exhale. We'll hold here for 3 more breaths. Crown of your head reaching forward. Check in with those hips. Keep pulling that right hip forward. And 1 more breath here. Inhale. And on our exhale, you can release those hands. If you have a block, you can bring that in front of you. Or you can, if you have 2 blocks, you can bring them both in front of you as well. Or you can grab onto your shin just below your knee. And then you'll begin to round your forehead towards your knee. So create support for yourself wherever you need it here to make this accessible for you. But now we're focusing on rounding our spine, reaching that forehead towards our knee. It doesn't have to touch. That's not our goal here. Our goal is to just feel a deep, intense side stretch. Keep breathing here. And we'll take 3 more breaths, really letting our upper body melt over our legs. 1 more breath. Inhale. And then exhale, we'll slowly begin to bring our hands to our hips, press those feet into the mat, and then keep your core tight to help you come to stand. From here, we'll take our right foot and step it up to meet our left. Now we'll do the other side. So we'll take our left foot and step it back behind us, finding a comfortable distance between your legs. You can always adjust here if you need to, bring them closer or a little bit farther apart, depending on how intense you want to make the stretch. And so again, we'll grab our opposite elbow behind our back, making our spine tall. Left hip pulls forward towards the front of the mat here, right hip pushes back so we stay square. And on your next exhale, press both feet through the mat and begin to hinge at the waist. Keeping your spine straight here, crown of your head reaching forward. It feels like you're a little bit wobbly here. You can focus on keeping your core tight to make balancing a little bit easier. You can also focus your drishti or your gaze on one point on the ground in front of you to help you stay focused on balancing. We'll take 3 more breaths here. On your next exhale, begin to release those hands from behind your back and grab either onto your shin, the blocks, or you can reach your hands all the way down to the mat if that's accessible for you, and round your forehead towards your knee. Again, pulling your right hip back, left hip forward to stay squared here. Then keep pressing those feet through the mat to stay strong. And check in with your breath if you've noticed your mind has started to wander. Maybe your mind has started to wander to try and distract you from the intense sensation that you're feeling. Just bring your breath back to that sensation. Try not to run away from it. And we'll take 3 more breaths here. And on your next exhale, bring your hands to your hips. You can bend your front knee slightly if you need to, and then use your core staying strong to help you stand up. And then we'll take our left foot and step it back to meet our right. Good. From here, we're going to move on to one balancing pose before we head down to the mat for some more restorative stretches. And so this balancing pose we're going to head into is called figure 4. And so you may be familiar with this posture laying flat on your back, but we're going to add an extra challenge to it by doing it on one leg today. So we'll start with our right side being our base leg. So we're going to spread our right toes wide, lift all 5 toes up, and place them down on the mat so you can feel all 4 corners of your right foot pressing down into the mat. And your inhale, you'll extend your arms high, reach your left knee high so it's level with your hip. Flex your toes towards your face, and then we're going to slowly begin to bring our left ankle onto our right knee. As you exhale, begin to bring your hands to the center of your chest and the hips sink low. So I'll turn to the side here so you can see. So we don't want to stick our booty back behind us too much and drop our chest down. We want to focus more on keeping our chest over our hips and just sinking down low. And you have to work on finding your edge here. So somewhere where you can stay and feel a stretch and also balance. So keep your core tight, focus your drishti on one point in front of you. And if you feel stable, you can try and lower with each exhale, sinking those hips down just a little bit more. Good, and we'll hold here for one more breath. Inhale and exhale, and stand tall. Good, and shake those legs out, your standing leg. And we'll do the other side. So we'll lift our left toes off of the mat, spreading them wide, planting them down. Inhale, your right knee lifts high. And now we're going to cross our right ankle over our left knee, flexing those toes. Exhale, sink back for your balancing figure 4. Hands stay at the center of our chest to help us stay balanced. Shoulders try to stack over our hips. And just keep pressing those hips down and back with each exhale. Good. Really stay focused on one point to help you stay balanced if you feel like you're falling all over the place. And we'll take one more breath here. And then we'll exhale, come to stand up tall. Good. We're gonna come into one last standing stretch. So I lied about that. So we're gonna take our right foot and cross it in front of our left, like this. So you want your pinky toes to be touching. And we're gonna work on squaring our hips off towards the front here. If you need a block, you can bring one in front of your toes here to create a little bit more height. We'll inhale, extend tall, and exhale, forward fold, hinge at the waist. Just round your forehead towards your knees. You should feel a deep stretch through the hamstring in your back leg. And just take 3 more breaths here, letting your upper body melt a little bit deeper with each exhale. And then your next inhale, begin to stand back up again. And we'll switch sides. So this time we'll take our left foot and cross it over our right so that our pinky toes are touching. Your back leg is straight here. Front knee is slightly bent. Inhale, extend your arms high. Exhale, forward fold, hinge at the waist. Keeping our hips stacked over our ankles. We don't want to be leaning back here. And then again, use your block to help bring you support wherever you need. Checking in with your thoughts here. Has your mind began to wander? Or are you really staying tuned in and focused to what's happening on your mat right now? 3 more breaths here. And on your next inhale, sweep your arms out to the side, begin to stand tall. Uncross those legs and exhale, hands to center. We'll begin to make our way down to our seat here. And we'll go ahead and grab that strap. If you don't have one, you can grab your towel or whatever else you grab in place of a strap. So we'll come into our staff pose, sitting up tall. You can actually take the fleshy part of your bottom and scoot it out to the side so that you can feel your sits bone pressing down into the mat. Flex your toes towards your face, bring your hands on either side of your hips, and press your spine tall. Keeping everything through your lower body engaged here, squeezing tight. And take 1 more breath here. And then your inhale will begin to reach our arms up towards the ceiling. On your exhale, you can reach towards your toes for just a simple forward fold. If you can't touch your toes, that's okay. You can grab your shins or you can use a strap here to wrap around your feet. Just keep melting your upper body over your thighs. If you want, you can try to maintain a straight spine here, but you can also round, just whatever is feeling good in your body this morning. And then we'll begin to come into a revolved forward fold. So if you're using a strap, you can take your strap and wrap it around your right foot. If you don't need a strap, you can take your left hand and grab the outside of your right foot, whatever feels good for you. And so you'll take your left hand, grabbing the strap right towards, or as close to your right foot as you can. And you'll begin to lift your foot off of the mat. On your next exhale, you're going to reach your right arm back behind you, keeping your spine long. You should feel this through your IT band and into your hip flexor a little bit. You can bend your elbow to hug that knee or hug your leg deeper in towards your body. Good, keep those shoulders relaxed. When we're doing a lower body posture, sometimes we can tend to just tense up in our upper body because we're not even thinking about it. So just try to check in with your whole body here. Go ahead and take one more breath, pull a little bit higher for your inhale. And exhale, release. And we'll switch sides here, taking that strap and wrapping it around our left foot, or just taking your hand to grab the outside of your left foot. Right hand comes as close to our foot on the strap as we can, and begin to lift up your strap or your leg. And then on our next exhale, begin to open your chest, left arm reaching back behind us. So you're getting a stretch through your leg and also a little spinal twist here. So bend your right arm, hugging your leg deeper towards your body. Hi, Rufus. Good. Keep your spine extending tall. One more breath here. Inhale. And exhale, begin to lower your leg. You can release that strap and just shake your legs out a little bit. And for our final pose this morning, we're going to go into one of my favorites, which is called legs up the wall pose. So if you do not have a clear space on your walls anywhere, then you can just do this laying flat on your back. So I'll cue this laying flat on your back first without a wall, and then show you what it looks like up against my doors here. So the legs up the wall, you begin to lay flat all the way on your mat. You can use a block here as well. And so without the block, you'll just lay flat, hands on either side of your hips, and then just extend your feet up towards the ceiling. You should be able to find a balancing point where they kind of hang out on their own without very much effort from you. We don't want to be tensing up through here. We want our whole lower body to just be relaxed. And if you do have a block, you could always take a block, put it on the low level, and bring it underneath your sacrum or your lower back. And then you'll do the same thing. Keep those hands flat and just press those legs up to the ceiling. This is technically called waterfall pose, but if you don't have a clear space on your wall, this can be a good sub for legs up the wall. And so you can hang out in either of those two positions. But if you have a wall, what you want to do is scoot your hips as close to the wall as you can. And then you'll lay flat. This is going to be a little silly because it's my curtains. But you're going to lay flat. And then you'll bring your legs up to the ceiling and turn so that your hips are as close to the floor or as close to the wall as you can. Then you'll bring your legs onto the wall and just hang out. And you can hang out here for as long as you want. This is a great pose to get all of the stagnant blood in your lower half of your body cycled up to the top part of your body and just kind of refreshes everything. And this is a great alternative to Shavasana as well. So you can stay here as your Shavasana for your practice today. And you can take a few variations here. I won't show you all of them because this is not the best wall, being that they're moving curtains. But one of my favorite variations you can take here in Legs Up the Wall is our straddle. So you just open your legs into a wide straddle, letting gravity do all of the work, just pulling your legs down towards the floor. So go ahead and find whatever shape is going to work best for your space and for your body today. You can stay in this pose for as long as you want. Just take a moment to thank yourself for showing up to your mat today. Thank your body for moving and for letting out any of that extra stress that you've just been holding on to. Thank you guys so much for joining me this morning, and I hope to see you again tomorrow for our last day of yoga for stress relief. Thank you guys so much. Namaste.